Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of ArrrCee, where we're trying to keep good games alive. I'm ArrrCee, and today we're checking out One More Dungeon on the Switch. This is actually a really cool little dungeon exploring, roguelike, roguelite, whatever type of game. But it's got kind of a throwback 3D look to it. You're exploring 3D space, but all of the characters have a throwback, 16-bit, 32-bit style to them, which is pretty cool. Before we get into any of the other stuff that's here, let's just get right into the game here. We'll go to New Game. You can see you can actually start the game with mutators. This actually changes the way you play the game. When you go up here, you can actually see, let's see, select the scroll bar here. So I've only selected, or have unlocked the first two here, which is It Was Easy and Don't Hurt Me, and you can have any two selected at once if you want to have them on there, or you can play the game, you can completely clear that out and play the game with no mutators whatsoever. But It Was Easy makes it so the enemies have half health, and if you put on Don't Hurt Me, you start the game with an extended maximum health level, which is pretty helpful. The one thing I will say, though, is that I've been playing with these mutators on as much as I can, and this game is pretty challenging. But other mutators that are available are Alchemist. You can start the game with extra potions. You start the game with extra crystal supply with the Warlock. There's a bunch of different ones here. Big levels, you can extend the size of the levels here. I think that this is pretty cool that the team actually added in a bunch of these different options here. But yeah, as I was saying, though, the game is pretty difficult, so I haven't had a point except for at the very beginning when I first started the game, when I didn't have mutators. I've pretty much always had mutators activated because I kind of need them. So, actually, we gotta kind of turn these on right now. So let's turn on that one. And you can see that one filled up mutator number 1 there, and we'll fill up mutator number 2 slot right there. And we are ready to play. So let's jump into our first dungeon. So just like most, roguelike or roguelite type of games, everything is randomly generated. So every time you start a new dungeon, you're getting a brand new game. So I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately with Switch games. Lots of roguelite type of games coming out on the Switch. But as you can see here, I mean, this game runs really, really good on the Switch. Like, it's running a good, 60 frames a second. And I can verify I played a couple rounds of this portably as well, and it runs really, really good portably. There we go. You have two types of weapons. We just killed a bat. We killed it with our staff here. And you have a normal melee weapon as well. These are just mapped to your top left and right bumper buttons. They're not the actual triggers. Because they actually save the triggers, as you can see in the top center there, for items. So you can actually collect items and assign them to different buttons on your either control pad or your triggers. And you can do that through the inventory here. So when you click collect a lot of stuff, it actually defaults to that top bar up there. But if you get to a point where you're like, okay, I don't really need that up there at the moment, let me swap that out with this. And this is also how you would swap out your main melee and your staff weapons as well. So the cool thing about the melee weapons is that you can get upgraded ones. You can get staves, you can get knives, you can get axes. There's all kinds of different stuff to pick from. You can destroy this stuff too. Sometimes you get items, sometimes you don't. This barrel over here is an explosive barrel. If we shoot that, that will explode. Do not be close to it though, because that will totally tear you up. Let's see here. Which way do we want to go? And you can always check which way you want to go by hitting Y, and that brings up the map. You can see the little red arrow there. And as we go through, oh, there's another bat. So we can take him out with our... Oops, I hit the barrel. Hit the barrel again, but we took care of the barrel at least. Now you'll see as we use the green, because this is actually an acid staff, it's random which staff you start with too, because I've started with blue, I've started with green. Don't know if I've started with red or not, but your melee weapon is, you always start with the same melee weapon, but your staff is different. But you can see in the top right corner you have red crystals, blue crystals, and green crystals, and those crystals are used for your staff. As you can see, it's basically saying that it uses 2 of the green crystals every time I shoot it. So if I shoot this here, it goes down to 44. What's a good thing to know. But it's a good thing to also watch for, because you will run out of that stuff fairly quickly. So it's important to find other color staves and stuff littered throughout the level. So we're going to collect some more green here, collect some blue. Okay, so we woke up an enemy here. What you want to try to do is shoot them off from afar before they wake up, because otherwise they will come after you. And if they come after you, some of these guys can hit pretty hard and you will be dead quick. There's been quite a few times where I've been down in a dungeon and I've just gotten my... Oh man, I've just gotten my ass kicked, because some guy snuck up behind me, had no idea he was there, and he just took me out in a few hits. There's a few enemies that are pretty weak, but there's some enemies that are super strong, and you really got to watch out for them, especially if they're sneaking up behind you. So you got a bunch of... Oh, like this guy. This is actually the boss of the dungeon here, but we took him out fairly easily. But if that guy actually gets close enough to hit you, oh boy. By killing that guy, we actually got the key, which is the seal to the next level. Because you know, just like in any other dungeon game, you are exploring and going down in levels. There we go, we get some red crystals there. I think this was our start point here, yeah. So we check our map out here. You'll see on the map that we do have a green square that's sort of down in the bottom right area there. Those are the doors you can get open. If you see blue squares, those are representative of interactive objects. So it could be a treasure chest, could be an altar that you can interact with. Wow, there's a lot of these guys in here. But the interactive square could be a lot of different things. Oh, another guy. There we go. We have not found another staff yet, though. And it's interesting, because sometimes you'll start these little dungeons and you will find all kinds of stuff, and sometimes you won't find anything. And it makes the level that much more difficult. It's interesting because it's a little unforgiving compared to other roguelikes that I played. Some roguelikes will make sure that the first couple levels are a little bit easier to deal with until you start getting into the challenge. You know, if you were to play a game like Spelunky, for example, not that these two games have a lot in common with their aesthetics, but as far as the way they're built, they are pretty similar. As far as using the whole, you know, roguelite motif. But yeah, Spelunky in the first world will make things a bit easier for you. Here's a pickup here. This is the health potion. But you actually got to hit A to pick that up. There we go. Now, you look up there to use these options, and actually, I apologize, I lied. I did actually find a staff there. So we can actually switch over to this red staff now. We can use the red crystals. But basically, you're just switching that out with the control pad. So you hit the right to switch back to green, back to red, and so on and so forth. There actually might... Sometimes at the end of these pathways, you open the door, there's nothing here, but there's like a secret panel behind some of these, and there'll be... you know, whether it's a new staff or some health, whatever it is, head this way. Right now, since we have the key that gets us to the next area, we are kind of looking for the door that's going to take us there. There we go, we got our new fiery staff shooting at that snail. This is actually going to give us a bunch more health. Boom. You can see it jumped up from 14,000 to 16,000. I do appreciate the dedication to the aesthetic, you know, of the 16-bit or, you know, throwback bit, whatever. Oh, these guys are powerful. There we go. Took him out. See, he took off 1,000 health there. I was at 16. He took me down to 15. Those little rat guys are powerful. But I like the dedication to the old school look and everything. Sometimes the font is a little tough to read, though. I'm being very careful going around the corners here because we're doing quite well, and I want to get a sneak attack from an enemy. Here's a treasure chest here. You'll see now on the map that is represented by a blue. The altar that we just got health from, that is also represented by blue. The only thing that's strange, though, is we use the altar. Oh, this guy again? Damn, took off another 1,000 of my health. So you gotta keep up on your health. But it's interesting, though. We've already used the health altar that's in here. So there's nothing else we can actually do with it. It's strange that the map actually still shows it as blue. I feel like there should be, like, an active blue and an inactive blue. That might be a little bit smarter, I feel like, for the user. As an interface choice for the map. But we cannot use this chest until we actually find a key. There are different keys for everything. We gotta find... Oh, that bat actually dodged my fireball there. I don't know if you saw that. Let's see if we can hit the snail from back here. Boom! Over there, we do have a snail here. Take him out. There we go. I'm hearing something through the walls. I think that might be a trap in a different room. There are traps in these dungeons, too. You definitely gotta watch out for those. We got 2 doors leading up into the same place, it looks like. Is there another enemy in here? There's something in there. See, okay, there it is. There's the bat. I was gonna say, I knew I could hear something. That bat keeps dodging me. He's skillful. Okay, we got some more green here. Switch back over to the green staff. Alright, so once you start getting these maps really opened up, this is when you start really wondering, hey, where where is the exit? Because we're running out of places to find. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go up this way. Be very careful walking around these corners. These enemies will just sneak up on you and eat you. Okay, so we've explored all that. We have a way of going down south, so maybe we'll go down south first here. Aha, he tried to dodge me there. He couldn't get away. What is going on in here? There is something... some kind of portal. This is something I have not seen in this yet. What the hell is that? Press A to use the portal. I'm not sure that I want to just yet. That's something I have not encountered in the game yet. You know, let's go for it. Since we haven't seen it yet, let's check out this portal. Oh my god. It's like we're in a Doom level now. Some kind of floating lantern. You got eyeballs coming up out of the ground here. I can't quite do anything in there. What am I supposed to do here? Look at that big 3-eyed owl up there and everything. Great aesthetic for this little area. This is cool. We're gonna have to come back here though. Or can we? No, we can't. I don't know what I was supposed to do in there. I did not see how I could get in there, because there was a shield there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but... Okay, we take out the bat, we take him out. Let's take this guy out. Take you out. Because that bat took 2. No pickups except for the blue crystals here. So at this point, this is when you would... Here's the door down. This is when you would have to make a decision on whether... you'd want to go down or keep exploring. We've explored most of level 1. We'll probably head down. But here's one of those weird little booby traps here. Stay away from that. Here we go. We're now in level 2. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, I mean, you could definitely see that this is, you know, your typical type of dungeon crawling game, except every time you play a round of it, it's going to be different. The first 2 rounds I played of this, I played portably, and I actually had a lot of fun with it. There's some skeletons coming after us now. Things are getting a little bit more intense. I was just double checking that. Whoa! Didn't see him there for a moment. Now there is one game that this reminds me of, though. There is a game called Delver that I actually did a few episodes of. Stupid rat. Yeah, we're gonna use the health. There we go. Use that health potion and gain a few thousand health. Definitely helps. But yeah, there was a game, check it out on my channel. There was a game that I played. I don't remember how many episodes of it that I played. Maybe 2 or 3? Probably 3, somewhere around there. But Delver on Steam, I found it to be a very cool little game. It's actually remarkably similar to this game. Same, first-person viewpoint, except you weren't facing just monsters. It feels like in this, it's mostly skeletons, goblins, monsters, that kind of thing. Here's some more health. If we use that, boom, up to 16. But in that one, you were facing a lot of different things. You know, barbarians, warriors, magicians, all kinds of different stuff. Don't know that you can actually break these. No, it wouldn't seem like it. And this is our only way to go, it would seem, so here we go. But yeah, Delver was actually a really cool little game. I don't know that they support it anymore. And I think when I played it, it was in early access. This was like years ago when I think I first started the channel. I was playing that game. But I liked what I played of it. Had a good time with it. And it's actually pretty cool that I have a game similar to that now on the Switch. This is one of those games you're going to, you know, if you enjoy it. Oh, just missed. Oh, get up. There we go. We got some more green over here, just what I need. No secrets, though. Oh, there's a goblin hiding out right there. Let's take him out. Boom. Yeah, this is one of those games that I'm really glad I have. It's one of those games I feel like where if I am, you know, traveling and, you know, actually the Christmas holidays coming up here, I'm going to be out of town for a few days coming up, and I'll have my Switch on me, so this would be a great game to just pull out when I'm at my family's house, you know, at night and everyone else is asleep or whatever, and I just kind of want to, you know, relax, maybe watch some TV in the background while I play a game on the Switch. This is one of those great, like, in my opinion, like, podcast games. I don't know if you guys are familiar with podcast games, but I listen to podcasts, and I watch videos on YouTube and stuff, podcast videos on YouTube, and I love games where I can kind of, you know, pay like 80% attention to the game while I'm break this open. There we go. You know, while I'm focusing on you know, the podcast or whatever. If I'm listening, you know, I can pay probably 90-95% attention to the game, which is great. Sound just gets turned down a little bit. And this is one of those games where sound is important at times, but it's not, you know, the end-all be-all if you don't have the sound. We do have a key. Let's open up this chest. Hey, we just got an iron sword, so let's swap that up because it's our first actual weapon we got. So we can switch to our sword here. Now, you will notice, too, with new weapons, they do actually swing differently. So the knife kind of pokes, the sword comes down as a swing. I did have a spear at one point, too, and the spear would take you longer to sort of wind up and do. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to store our old weapon in here. Look at that. We can put that right in the inventory. Comes out from our top bar there because we don't need it up there anymore. Hey, look at that. Those boxes took one swipe. So we're a little bit more powerful this time. Okay, so we can go in there. Or do we want to go up? I did see a goblin, but let's go this way. Let's keep exploring. There we go. Kill the goblin with 2 hits. Kill the skeleton with 2 hits. Not bad. You don't want to get close to those guys if you don't have to, though. Alright, we got a ton of red. Let's switch to our red staff here. So yeah, I think most holidays, though, I'm, you know, whether it's a Christmas Eve night or Christmas night, I find myself sitting on my parents' living room couch, just chatting with my mom, and she might be watching a movie or something like that, and I might be playing a game or just watching a movie or whatever. But this is one of those games that'd be perfect to play, like while I am just sitting in. Oh, there we go. See, these guys all just caught up on or snuck up on me. That's the stuff you got to watch out for. And there was 4 goblins. There we go. Whew, those guys really tried to take me out. Look at my health, too. I had, like, upwards of... What did I have left? Like, 12,000? They really did a number on me there. But yeah, this is a really, really cool game that I could easily play, you know, while I'm chatting with my mom or whatever, and still actually pay attention to what she's saying to me. Wow, this guy's got some hefty armor, doesn't he? Is he the boss of this dungeon? Yeah, I think he was. We got a new... Okay, we got a blue... We got a blue staff now. Very helpful. Okay, I got a regeneration potion. Let's see. Okay, that does regenerate my health. Look at that. It's popping right back up. Doing really, really well. Nope, no secret there. But we do have our key that's going to get us down to level 3. Anything in here? No. And actually, there's nothing in here. We can keep going north. We might as well. I think we still have to locate the actual exit to level 3, right? Once in a while, you get these cool little ceiling tiles that, you know, show light coming in. Very pretty. Blow that up for fun. Alright, where do we want to go here? Okay, we do have some doors in the center. I guess we'll go up. Though we did not finish exploring down south, did we? Oh, not that way. Hey, dude. There we go. Took him out. Oh, and there's a bat. You get close up like that, it's hard to make out the characters at times. Oop. Yeah, I gotta say, you know, having the Switch this year has been awesome. The fact that I can play most of these games... oh, we got another... Oh, it's just another iron sword, it looks like. But the fact that I can actually... any game that I put in my Switch, I can just pull up and play portably at any point is so cool. Like, having games digitally... Like, I have this game digitally, I can just pull it out, start this game up whenever I feel like it. Man, is it cool. You know, I wasn't sure what to expect with the Switch coming out this year, whether I was going to really enjoy the system or not. I've always been a Nintendo fan, but man, when... here, we'll put this key in here, too. This one we'll put on ZL. Close that, and we'll use that right up. There we go, we got our health right back up. But having all of these digital games coming out lately for the Switch where, you know, they've actually been really good portable games to play. Because really, in my opinion, that's the king of portability for games. Don't get me wrong, I love games like Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. But for me, it's like, I like to set aside time and whatever else, you know, during the night or day when I'm playing it. So that way I kind of go undisturbed playing Breath of the Wild or Super Mario Odyssey. But having a portable game on the plane, or at my parents' house, or at a friend's house, whatever it is, that I can pull out and play if I need to. And the fact that you can suspend it at any time is great. This game is definitely one of those games where it's going to be like, man, you know, I made it all the way to level 4. I'm just going to suspend this for right now because there's no way I can not come back to this game later. I'm doing too good. Here we go. Here's a secret door. Hey, we found one. Another fire staff 1. Okay, so I guess we'll just pop that in here for now. Nothing in there, fortunately. Yeah, of course, oh, here's the door to the next level. So we keep exploring now. Let's just head down. We're doing okay. But yeah, it is great to having a system that I can do that with. I love being able to come home, pop it on the dock, and, you know, play whatever game it was that I left off on at my parents' house or you know, my friend's house or whatever like that. It's one of those things where my wife and I live together now. Oh man, this is actually a pretty spooky dungeon. Oh man, we got zombies coming after me. Oh, okay. Let's take out the zombie first. Let's use the potion. Oh man, look at my character down on the bottom left. He's all beat up. I feel like this game is a little bit more Doom-inspired than it let on. Yeah, my wife and I live separately. You know, obviously when we were married. This system came out like 1 year too late. This would have been the greatest thing to like take with me on weekends where, you know, if she was busy with something for a few hours, I could have something to do. Not that I didn't have like a 3DS or something at the time that I could have played with, but You know, having Mario Odyssey at my fingertips back then would have just been amazing. Now, the one thing that I picked up that I didn't talk about yet... Oh, we got a spider who's quickly trying to eat me. He did not poison me. I do have a ton of antidotes, but he didn't poison me. You'll see in the top left, I have the skull coin. It's the one thing I have not figured out, you know, how to use or what it's used for in the game yet. Oh man, there's a spider at the end of the hall here. But he's dead now. Yeah, everything else sort of fell into place after playing the game for, I would say, about a good 45 minutes to an hour. Everything kind of started making sense with how the inventory works and all that stuff. But the coins, that's still something I have not quite figured out yet. What the hell is that thing? That was definitely something. I don't know what it was, but it's a goopy something. There's something here too. Gross. I don't know if those things are going to break free or what. What? Oh my god, the spiders are cocooning people. There's another spider. Why are the spiders cocoon one of their own? That's what I want to know. I'd really like to know what those skull coins actually do. That would be nice to figure out. Okay, we got some more blue crystals. So we're doing good on the blue crystals. And we've already explored a good portion of this level already. Obviously don't want to walk on the green spaces there with the fog emitting. I'm assuming that would be poisonous. Let's stay away from that. I will say too that I think the name of this game is kind of funny. It kind of takes a lot of the seriousness out of it, but I don't think it's one of those games that was meant to be taken too seriously. But it's unfortunate just because, you know, if people aren't going to take it seriously, you know, they're not going to look at this game as like a real deal type of game. But it is. It's a good little game. It's called, you know, One More Dungeon, as we mentioned at the beginning. Wow, look at these little bug things. Guess it's dead. Interesting. But yeah, as it's called One More Dungeon, though, you know, the whole idea is like, oh, you finished, or you died or whatever. It's like, okay, one more dungeon, one more dungeon. And I like that. I think it's very fitting for the motif of the game. But there's nothing about it that's super funny, which I'm okay with. Like, I'm okay with a game being just, you know, not taking itself too seriously, but also not being in your face hilarious. You know, not every game has to go Borderlands on us, right? It doesn't have to be that way to be just a fun little game. Here's a health altar. And we're doing really good this game, actually. We don't have a key for that, though. But don't let that fool you. Just because you're doing well this game doesn't mean that zombies or whatever won't just sneak up behind you and take you out like all of those goblins tried to do to me. And like that spider just tried to do to me. This bug is really doesn't want anything to do with me. Alright, dude. Hopefully he's not going to attack me from the back. Did we go in here? There's a potion. A mind potion. I haven't picked up one of those yet. Wonder what it does. Oh boy. There's a bunch of enemies in here. Well, I just took the mind potion. I don't know what it did. But I did something. We get another unknown potion. Let's use an unknown potion and see what happens. Okay, that was health. That was health too. Okay. I'll take it. There's another skull coin. See, those skull coins are interesting too, because I've had games where I'll collect like 10 of those in the first dungeon. This game was a lot different, where I don't think I picked up any skull coins until just this level. Here's another health. Look at that. We're up to 18 now. Ah! Okay, I think that's the boss in there, so we gotta be really careful in here. Oh, jeez. Look at that. Not doing well. We're not doing awful, but we're not doing well. Okay. There we go. We took him out. That was the boss. Man, these guys are really killing me here. There we go. Let's pick up the key. We will put that right in there. Yeah, we're doing pretty good here. Oh, we got a ring of fire. So that is the first time that I've actually picked up a ring, believe it or not, too. Ring of Fire, 1 point decrease of red crystal expenditure while using the staff. That's great. That means now if I use the red staff, which I have been using, that it only costs 1 point to use every single time. Break this here. Looking good, looking good. No secret, though. This is a really big map. Oh, here's the exit up here. Oh, look at that. We're at the exit. So, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to take this time to kind of show you another really cool thing that this game lets you do. And, let's see. I did this earlier. How do we do this? Okay. There's no save. I remember doing this before, but every game I played of this so far, I've pretty much finished, except for the, you know, one of the first games I played way back a few days ago. But you actually go to main menu. And do you really want to exit the main menu? Your current level of progress will be lost. Oh, you know what? So we don't want to leave yet. So we'll do this first. So if you hit, press A to exit, this will take us down to level 4. And this is a good place to stop here, so we'll pause it. Now if you go to main menu, hit yes, you can actually come back to it at any point and hit continue, which I think is another great feature, which is basically like, hey, I need to come back to this game later, you know, finish the dungeon you're on, save it, close the switch or whatever, go to a different game, whatever it is you want to do, and you come back and return to it. But yeah, that's the game. I think it's a great little game. That's actually the furthest I've been in the game so far. I haven't made it to level 4 yet. But the game has a lot of other new, or not new, but a lot of other great things going on too. You have a lot of different achievements to collect. So as you can see, like I said, I've only hit level 4. Looks like level 5 is halfway. Level 8 is a conclusion achievement, and then finish the game must be level 10. But they got other things too. Let's see. Select the scroll bar. There we go. So you can start the game with any mutator. We've already gotten that one too. Buy all the mutators. If you get enough points, you can buy all the mutators that are available and use them all up. Complete the game with Fog or Broken Cartridge Mutator. So you're challenging yourself to get a lot of these different achievements, which I think is great because, you know, it's offering you additional things to do on the Switch. Now, it's funny because I know everybody has been harping on Nintendo consoles for a long time to get achievements, but a lot of developers are sort of, you know, I guess they're mitigating their own achievements here, which I think is great to kind of alleviate that problem. But yeah, that is One More Dungeon. I think it is a great little game. There's a lot to it. Feels like one of those games, as the title suggests that we were talking about earlier, definitely feels like one of those games you just want to play one more round of every single time you get through. Maybe not so much if you get really far and die. You're probably going to get frustrated and go, maybe one more dungeon a week from now. But it is one of those games that you're going to be, you know, really wanting to come back to after you finish rounds and stuff like that, because it's had me this week wanting to play it. Even though I've been cranking out a lot of different GGRC videos and everything, but it's the one game I've been wanting to get back to and play more of, because it's simple, it's fun, and I can do other things while I'm playing it. It's just really, really good. So definitely recommend checking this out, especially for the price too. It's only $7.99, which I failed to mention through the whole video until now, but for $8, this is a great game. Well, GG everybody, and I will see you next time.